Hi everyone and welcome to our loving new kit of Farmhouse collection. This is a fantastic collection for versatility. You can use this for so many options, as you saw in our layout and card examples in the credits of this video. You can see how differently it can go. It obviously has the blacks and the whites and the signs and the clocks. You know, there's so many things that you're going to be able to use in here, and we're going to get to all of them here in just a second. This is our bundled version of this collection, and that includes our FQB, our Farmhouse 2 paper pack, our Farmhouse Solids paper pack, our Farmhouse Talk Alpha, and our Farmhouse Little Bits Additional Elements pack. So all 5 of these coordinated products you can purchase as one purchase, and you save yourself 20% versus buying them individually. So if you are watching this video and you like what you see, you're probably going to want to take advantage of this, because it's a great thing to not only save you a few dollars, but give you so much more creative options. So let's go back and just have a quick peek here and see exactly what is in this kit. Here we are starting out with arrows. You can see them in beautiful papers, and here they are in wood. Look at this weathered wood. This was a collection that really has been inspired by so many different things, but as you can see with the screws in it and the kind of patinaed metal in it and things like that, there are so many different unique elements in here. Here's some another arrows with an addition of some blue in there. And our background papers, so beadboard, quintessential stuff. So as you can see already, beadboard is very much something people utilize in their homes, but imagine using that in a card, and you probably saw that in Mary Fran's layout when you looked at the background paper, and if not, we're going to check that out again later here. So again, it comes in a few different colors. We always want to give you some different colors to make sure that it combines with your creative vision. Some bouquet of flowers, again in a few different colors. Look at that rich blue. The colors in here, yes, there's a lot of black and white, but the colors in here as well give it such life, as you saw in the card making idea I had shown you earlier. The buffalo check, big wide pattern. Isn't that gorgeous? Sometimes they get a little small, but this one's nice and large. And here's a collage page, kind of a grayish, almost metal-y type background with all this wonderful cluster that Mary Fran has done for us already. This is us, our life, our story, and our home. So there you go, where I was speaking earlier about how versatile this kit is. This could simply be about, did you buy your first house? This could be about just, did you get married? This is something about maybe a couple. This is obviously is about a couple of people. But maybe it's your grandparents, maybe it's your mom and dad, maybe it was something that they had happen and you wanted to memorialize that for them and give this. Awesome ideas and awesome uses. Here is a damask pattern, very rich, very nice and large as well. The great thing about this, and again, you saw how I used it in the card making idea, and we'll go visit that one more time before we leave this video, is there it is there. That's exactly the one that I used in navy. You can shrink this if you want before you print it, so you can choose what size you want, but it starts out nice and large. If in fact you like this, it was one that I really liked. So it gives you that option, because it's so hard to enlarge in papers. It's very much easier to make them smaller. A diamond pattern, so we wanted a few simpler patterns in here that give it a little bit of life. And a floral. Obviously Mary Fran's florals, if you shop at Nitwit Collections, you know her florals are just to die for. And so this embodies it as well, once again. And look at the black. Look at the contrast in that between the black back and all the different colored flowers. Isn't that magnificent? Just looks stunning. And it'll really, and the same thing in the navy. That will ring and come through in all of your cards and layouts and mini albums. That just really highlights everything. There's also a watercolor in here so that you get a pastel, kind of a muted version, kind of an ethereal look to it. And here's galvanized metal. So in case you're looking at that and maybe it doesn't come through on your screen, that's what that looks like. And it does look like that on your computer screen. Some ginghams. Obviously we want to again go into some patterns that are, and houndstooth, patterns that are easy to use as backgrounds. This is shiplap. For those of you in North America, I'm not sure about anywhere else in the world. I'm not sure if you get a house called Fixer Upper. That is a TV show where people fix up houses. This is very popular down in the South in the United States, and that's actually what they used on the walls of people's homes before they textured it or whatever the case may be. Star pattern, again, great pattern, great colors. You can see how it gives it some life, but maybe not too much. Sometimes we don't want too much in there. We don't want to create it too busily. And you have those options in here, as well as with the tickings. Very great vertical stripes. You can see again how Mary Fran used this particular one in her layout idea and the impact that it creates. Another little flowery wallpaper, and here is wire and burlap. Beautiful, beautiful thing to do. So again, when like I was talking earlier, the versatility, there are so many different items in here and so many different ways it's displayed. You can do anything. Like, can you imagine this if you were doing something for maybe your son and he likes the kind of grungy look of things and, you know, graffiti and spray paint and different things like that. Great background for that. Great background. Our elements, here's some book plates. Nicely done in terms of they're a metal look to them, all the colors of the coordination of this kit, but left blank for you inside so you can write in exactly what it is that you're trying to say. You can personalize it that way by having that blank space. The bows are great, just standard grosgrain type of look to them, and obviously again in the colors of the kit. Buttons, great little addition. Look at the detail in that button, way it's worn off, it's been here for years, that kind of stuff has a bit of that vintage feel. The whole kit really slants that way. And that's what I was saying earlier, is it really does go that way. This, now because of how large it comes up, it almost looks like another background paper, but it's not. It's a chicken wire frame. So this is galvanized metal around the outside, even though it is a nice large element, and once again, nice and large so that way you can shrink them and still have your resolution and not lose any of that. But again, imagine this being a memory board. You thought, you know, I always kind of wanted a memory board type thing, and here's an idea for it. You can put in sayings, you can put in whatever, something great to give to a friend, a little bit inspirational, and that could be, you could tuck in a photo in there, or if it is a card, you can certainly open this up into a sentiment area as well. Chicken wire mat, so there it is, just as wire in case you wanted to place it differently. The clocks. So here's one that's almost like an iron kind of look, like a black wrought iron. And then you have the great wooden ones with the weathered edge. Look at the weathered edge. Doesn't that remind you of going antiquing somewhere and this is something that you found? It's worn, it's old, you know, it's just beautiful. There it is as well without words. So that way, if you thought it was a little too busy without words, or maybe English isn't your primary language, you wanted to put on your own words on there, that gives you that option. Here's that cluster that works so incredibly well as a starter for you. Imagine, here you go, here's my main element. I have a blank tag on here so I can personalize it to however it works for me. And you just put some background papers to this and you are off to the races. Look at how quickly you can create with this kit. Here's some individual flowers. Again, we want to give you the option, as well as a flower cluster, we want to give you the option of creating yourself. Some frames. Now, if you take a look at this frame and you're saying, you know, I'd like to create something for my dad, I want to create something for Mother's Day, I want to create something for someone's birthday, the frame itself in paper looks like a mat. So you could simply place a photo behind this, print this out in the size of an actual physical frame that you had purchased, and look at the look that you get. You don't have to worry about all that fancy matting inside if it didn't have it, because you know how sometimes frames are very difficult to buy. The matting is a weird color, it doesn't have any matting at all, and it's really cheap, but you wanted the look of it. Here you have it. Here's another different version. This one I'm not sure if it comes through, but as you'll see, I'll kind of use my cursor. There is like a rolled line in here. So kind of like a crease, or crease is the wrong word for it. It is like it's scored in those areas, like an old-time frame would be. Usually it was made out of that black, really heavy cardstock, and this is, people had photos tucked in behind them. That is the look of this, that vintagey look to it. Here's a frame made out of galvanized metal. Great thing to start with. Again, excellent things to work with in terms of really different elements and really cool things. This is us, our life, our story, and our home. Again, was made into a frame so that you have that option to frame something. Here's another one. Again, this is the black one where it was placed in with a nameplate on the front. And we always want you to personalize, so I always want to give you those options. Journal mats. So these ones here in different colors and different patterns have the lines already for you to write on. They are, like I said, they're different colors. So as a card insert, as an insert into a layout or a mini album, they're perfect. As are the journal pads. Already done. Look at the writing on here. And with that alligator clip on the top, how nice is that? And again, going back to the vintage feel, that's kind of where we're going with the kit. The blue floral on top. Look at how striking that is. Couldn't you just have a pad of paper like this sitting, that's beside the phone. Maybe it's beside your bed because you jot down things and that you want to remember come morning, things like that. Beautiful. And there's a blank one for you. So you can customize this one if you would like. Journal tags, these are made as well. These look like, if you look at the edges here, how everything is worn, these look like old metal tags. Beautifully done, and give such character to all your creations. One simple key, and here we are into some of the labels. And these look like the signs that are ever so popular nowadays. Grateful hearts live here. And this will give you, again, some indication and maybe some inspiration. Here's Fowler's Corners Market. You may get some inspiration as to, hey, yeah, I want to make a layout like this with this kit. Live simply, faith, family, and friends. I couldn't love you more if I tried. Great, fantastic labels. And don't forget, you can use these labels with the frames that we just saw. Put these in behind the frame, print it as one item. Voila, there you go. You have artwork that you could display in your home. You could give it as a gift, frame it up. There you go. You have so many options here. We Were Together, I Forgot the Rest by Walt Whitman. A gorgeous, vintage-looking photo in this frame here. So this was the same idea as what I was talking about, putting those labels in the frames that we had given you. H is for happy, as that is what you make me. So very thankful, incredibly grateful, unbelievably blessed. So I think you're seeing the theme come together here, where it is about someone or family. Those are two key ones that you can utilize this kit for. A metal pocket. So we also have another piece that goes with it, and that's this piece. So now let's go back, now that you understand what that's for. So you can actually make a metal pocket out of this. It's like it has the rolled aluminum down here. It has that galvanized look to it. Personalize it in the inside here. But here is the back. So if you're printing this, or you want to print this, you do have two components, so you can put this together. Metal tags, just simple things in there. The Good Life. All just embossed right in there. Doesn't that look like something that you purchased where it was engraved for you? Living the best happily ever after. And this is a digital stamp. You are my home. So this digital stamp here is perfect for placing onto a background paper, printing it out when it comes, or if you're creating digitally, obviously you can place this over anything. This is all transparent in behind this. So you'll see there's a black line at the bottom and one at the top that matches this weathered black. But other than that, everything else remains transparent behind it. Windmills, look at that. The iron wheel, the weathered wood. Isn't that fabulous? And here's one in metal, in the galvanized metal. Fantastic, unique elements. Black as well. And windows. So old windows, we all love them. It is a great decorative tool, but it's also a great creative tool. Here's one that Mary Fran made that is what we call filmy, and it looks like it's dirty on top. So it kind of looks like our windows on our house right now. It's all kind of dirty around the edges. But again, you can put something in behind here, whether that is one of those sentiment labels, whether that is a photo, whatever you want to put in behind here. You want to create a little main scene, and you want to use this as your main element to go over top. The fabulous results you're going to get with that, because this filmy area will go over top. It is opaque behind this, so you can place something behind this and make it look exactly like it's behind the window. Here's a window with the wire in it. Simple sign here, Jefferson's Baking Company. So you can see how this can be utilized. Farmhouse Fresh Market, local and fresh produce. Fantastic ideas with all the weathered edges, the vintage feel, the vintage look. Something very easy to use and create with. Our Lil Bits are fantastic in the fact that they are perfectly done, coordinated, and clustered elements for you. So For those of us that, I'm a little challenged in this way to cluster this well, Mary Fran gives us these so that way we can take something like this, easily add a background paper, and we're off to the races. You're already creating, whether that be a card, a layout, whatever. We add in a few little accoutrements on it, another few little embellishments in order to finish off whatever our idea was. But the bulk of the heavy lifting is done for us here in these elements. And you can see how well she does them. So, hey, if she's going to do them, I say, great, I'm going to use them. This works out good for both of us. Here's one with the market, the galvanized bucket. You can see the back in here. You can see how that back of this galvanized bucket came together. You can just see a little bit of it back here. So that's kind of what it looks like when it's assembled. We are so much better together. On the burlap, a gorgeous sentiment. Once again, remember, we could take that and put that into one of the frames that we've already given you. Remember the black one that I said had those score lines in it, that rolled edge? Imagine how great that would look. Something you can print out exactly to the size of your frame, put it in a frame. Why not have it on your coffee table or end table or up on the wall somewhere? How nice is that? Family, metal word, again, use it like you would a stamp. Same thing with welcome, same thing with gather. This is us, our life, our story, and our home. Again, this is a digital stamp. So use it exactly as you would think like you would a regular rubber stamp that you use in a lot of your crafts. This you can use this digitally. Time together is time well spent. And together is our favorite place to be. There's more signs in here, more label-y type things. Do what makes you happy. Family, life's greatest blessings. Wonderful things. Now you could also, if you thought, I'd like a little bit of color in here, well, that's why we've given you the individual flowers in the FQB kit. You can personalize that and adorn it with those things in order to give you some more color. You are my home. This is our happy place. It's so good to be home. Welcome home. Enjoy the little things. And here is an example of using that window. This is what I was talking about earlier. Mary Fran has chosen to use the damask background. She's chosen to use a cluster in the back, and look at the results. Look at how it turns out. I hope that gives you lots of inspiration on creating with this kit, because that is one fantastic idea to do with it. Happy with the wooden signs and all the different colors that coordinate with this kit. And same thing with family. And there we are back to the beginning. So that's the little bits. Our two paper pack gives you completely additional papers. These you've seen these patterns before in the FQB, but they do not come in these colors. These colors of this particular paper only come in the two paper pack. So again, for those of you that are new, we want to make sure that you understand how that works with our particular store. We create things so that you have so many options when you are creating both your cards, your layouts, your mini albums. We want to ensure that you have loads and loads of creative options, or the perfect creative option that you had in your mind's eye when I'm scrolling through this. These are the solids. Now, if you look closely, because this is a nice dark color, there's kind of a dot and then like kind of a crosshair of dashes. This could be easily a standalone paper. It doesn't have to be used like digital cardstock, but that's sort of the intention of the solid paper pack, is we want to give you solidly colored items to perfectly color match the kit. We can see how well Mary Fran does with color. She really can put things together. So we want to ensure that we pass along those options that are easy for you to use in that same capacity. The alpha. Here it is. It's a metal, almost metal looking, but the center, the black part, is almost like a really worn leather. Is really the kind of way it comes up on my screen to me. I don't know if it looks like that to you or comes across that way, but that's what it kind of looks like to me, is a really worn black leather. Very vintage feel. Can you imagine using this? Obviously with the colors that are in the kit, and you saw some of the blacks and the whites and things like that, this would just very well stand out against any of those background papers in order to spell out words, names, places, people, their initials. Maybe it's a celebration of something, whether it be for somebody's birthday, an anniversary, Mother's Day, you name it, whatever it's for. You have the alpha in order to spell out those things, or those key things, that the reason and the emotion that you created that thing for someone. And that, folks, is our Farmhouse collection. that is it in its entirety. So let's just have, again, a quick peek at the layouts. This is what I was talking about, using Mary Fran using the shiplap background here. What visual interest that gives. That's the reason it's included in here, as well as the clustering. You can see that, oh, okay, this is a little different than the cluster that Mary Fran had in the Lil Bits, but you can see there was a similarity there in how she utilized things. Here she used a photo in behind the frame, but that could very easily have been one of these other Live Simply tags, the special moments writable pad. There's so much to do there. The second layout goes a little bit differently. It goes a little more towards the vintagey. There's a lot more of the iron elements in here. The key, the weathered wood, the metal box here, the galvanized metal box. Again, a very, very cool way of taking this. She's used the beadboard white background as her background here. And as you can see, photos of the house, things like that. Just a wonderful way to present things, and a wonderful thing to scrapbook about. The decorating of your home. How nice is that? And the card making idea. This one I created just with almost a universal theme in mind, if you will. This can be so for anything. You could give this, obviously there's an I love you, the metal galvanized tag in here. So this could certainly be for an anniversary. This could certainly be for a birthday, so thankful, incredibly grateful, unbelievably blessed. This could be for a friend, just to say thank you for you know, maybe you needed a little bit of an extra chat one day because you were low. You maybe they gave you and did something for you, whether they helped you out because maybe you were a little bit infirm at the time, whatever it was. What a great thing to have in terms of cards in your stash, and a wonderfully laid out thing. So I'm hoping that this is all put together, has given you some inspiration, and you are thinking already, how can I create with this kit? What do I want to do with it? And this is the way I see it going. Thanks for tuning into our video. We hope you'll stop by our store and pick this kit up for yourself. It is a winner. As well, before you leave, down in that right-hand corner, you'll see our Nitwit Collections logo. Click on that in the video. That'll get you subscribed to our channel so you'll be made aware of whenever new videos come out. And feel free to leave us a comment down in the comment section below this video. If you have something that you really liked about this and you want to encourage us to do more, you had a question about something, whatever it is, don't hesitate to leave us a comment and let us know. Thanks once again, and we hope you'll be creating with this soon.